Today on the Topping Show, Bud Light has their worst sales week yet. Biden fundraising off to a slow start. Colin Kaepernick says capitalism is bad while publishing a new book for sale. John Taffer slams Bud Light. Washington State passes California for the highest gas prices. Good Humor killing an iconic ice cream novelty. Tesla wins the most American car manufacturer by Cars.com. And their new factory may be in India. FTC to sue Amazon over their Prime. And Microsoft to decrease Xbox prices. All that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say, he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner and need a little assistance, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Now, going on to the political part podcast, you have Biden fundraising off to a slow start. Now, this is a little bit of anecdotal evidence recently. You have two people who sent out a bunch of invites for fundraising events in California this week, and they claim that they only received 2 single-digit responses. And one joked that the same 2 or 3 Democrats were emailing and calling the same list, guaranteeing low return rate of what they saw. An email from one fundraiser informed recipients of a, quote, limited reduced price tickets for Biden's fundraiser. That event being in Atherton, California, which that's concerning. In terms of, there are certain instances where discounts are very attractive and a very great sales mechanism. There's a reason if you go to the store, everything has a sticker that says on sale, which, you're a store, everything's for sale. And they say, 10% off, 20% off. There's a fascinating psychological phenomenon where everyone will always think something is under a certain price point if it ends in 99 cents. Like, if it's $1.99, everyone will think it is under $2. They will be convinced that, even if they're educated, even if they're aware of it, it's fascinating that they still think it's under $2 when subsequently there's always the tax, which is usually in Texas 8.25%. So it's going to be over $2 because of the tax. But it is a psychological phenomenon where that makes sense. Now, other instances, discounts really aren't necessary to drive sales, and they actually kind of look bad in my opinion. Think of Apple products. Most Apple products are perceived as a very premium product. It's quite literally one of the most profitable companies on the planet. They make elegant, fancy computers and phones, which work quite well for many people. You don't see like a big sign like in an Apple store that says like 20% off. Like, it sounds gimmicky. It sounds day class A, as Jim from The Office might say. Old throwback of a reference. That was a basketball. But it's one of those things where you don't see that. And politics, it's usually the inverse. You're usually paying thousands of dollars for like a plate dinner, which it's exactly what it sounds like. You're paying thousands of dollars for a chicken on a plate. You're doing it because the money is going to fundraising for that nominee, whether it be a president, vice president, whatever the job is. Actually, that's probably given too much respect to politicians to say they have a real job. A job implies you actually do things and get results. We'll think of a new term for that job, or that professor. Profession is still too nice. Needless to say, I'm very pessimistic on people on the left and the right when it comes to people in politics. But I digress. On the plate, they're paying for that access to meet that person, and they're paying for them to have more campaigns or advertising, whether it be social media, print media. It's to bolster that person's view in the cultural lexicon and just get the name out there and advertise for them. To have to discount that again, that's a little unusual in politics. I have not noticed that before, and it really isn't a vote of confidence. Now, Biden won't share his official fundraising numbers until the end of the quarter, but a person close to the campaign expressed confidence about building a successful operation from the 2021 that raised $1 billion. And don't think people on the right don't do this. Every politician, every political party does this. But can you imagine raising $1 billion to run for office? And it's no wonder we always see so many commercials on every media matter, whether it's a YouTube or a TV or a cell. It's You see political ads everywhere. I always debate how effective they are. Kind of like car commercials. Ooh, a car on a TV. Are really inspired to buy it? I don't know how influential. I don't know how influential they are, but political ads are a huge booming business in and of itself. So they raised $1 billion for the 2020 election, and they're starting to see significant levels of new donors at the grassroots level, which they claim was a big help for them last year. So again, this is pretty early in terms of the campaign, trying to raise funds. And same article, and many people have noted, historically, Biden doesn't raise a lot of money himself. Now, that's not really that big of an issue because you have the party behind you, and that's a big value of why you choose a political party, and unfortunately why more people don't run as independent, which I'd like to see more of, because of course more choices the better. Beauty of competition and capitalism, you have more competition, you have more incentive to do the right thing for your constituents and actually do better. Now, in terms of choosing a political party, the left or the right, or Republicans or Democrats, those are billion-dollar institutions, so they have these war chests and these war funds. They all raise money for each other. And you see this with a lot of people on the left and the right. You'll have someone who's been in a district and successfully voted for decades. The public will overwhelmingly choose that person, but they still have to pick up the phone and raise money time and time again because they're raising money for districts that are more purple or more competitive, and they want to put more money into that by putting more ads. Now, Biden not raising a lot on his own, probably not that big of a deal because, again, he has the whole Democratic Party behind him and they're raising money on his behalf. Now, Trump has done a lot better in terms of this current runaround, well, also before in terms of raising money himself. He's quite bombastic in personality. He has a very entertaining and energetic personality, and a lot of people are donating him specifically because he's being politically prosecuted. And it's hard to not agree with that statement when he's the first person ever to be charged for this. When again, and he's also running for presidency, which that's the reason Hillary Clinton wasn't prosecuted, partially because of the email debacle and having classified data. They said that they're a presidential nominee. It's not right to arrest your competition. We're not a banana republic. But in this case, they're seen to be targeting Trump for something that again, Pence did it on the right, Biden did it on the left, Hillary did it on the left. I mean, it's hard to disprove he's not being politically targeted. But that's why I think a lot of people are contributing to his party more, for him being an individual fundraising mechanism in that regard. So will this have an outlook on the overall election? I don't think so. You have a lot of large businesses, you have a lot of large donors they're going to put money into the race no matter who's the front runner. And a lot of companies will just put money on both parties just because hedge your bets, and that way you have favors on both sides. So I don't think it's going to be a make or break moment in terms of the presidential race. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Can't thank you enough for taking time to like, subscribe, and comment. Each one of those things greatly helps out the channel. All your feedback or critique also greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.